We got to cover crypto real quick. Remember that channel that we had in crypto where we were trading in this channel here? Well, yesterday we popped through it up to 38,000, and then by the end of the day, we came back to that channel. Today, we're moving up again. Let's see by the end. I'm curious to see if we come back to this level here. Does this channel hold price intact? Very interesting to watch here. Either way, it's continuing to trade inside of this range, even popping above. But let's see, do we get stall out here, and does it retrace here and continue like that? Very interesting to kind of watch and see what's going on here. Oil, guys. Oil so close to my buy level. It still has not triggered. Here it is. Look at it over here. Look at how close. Bouncing a little bit today, but yesterday we were bouncing on oil and then it dumped out. Let's see if it dumps out again. Right around 74, there starts to be a technical level. If 74 hits today, I'm probably nibbling as a swing trade. I still think it's going to go lower, but a swing trade bounce would be appropriate in my opinion. Gold continues to decline here, guys. GDX, I'm going to be honest, GDX is starting to look good. That's the gold miner ETF. But again, look at this roll over here. And as I explained, after such a big move up, this is not abnormal. Even going down here would not be abnormal. So just let gold do what it wants to do. Everyone is so focused on instant gratification. You have to let charts do their things. Charts are like living, breathing organisms. You can't force a chart. Let the chart do its thing. It needs to consolidate. It needs to pull back. You have to get more bears involved so that when they cover their shorts or they go long, it pushes it up for that next leg up. The only thing I continue to remind myself on this gold chart is that when you look at a bigger time frame, we have the inverse head and shoulders formation. Again, let me zoom out here on this, and we show this, right? So you still have an inverse head and shoulders, which is a powerful pattern formation, right? So you still have to kind of complete this shoulder over here, which probably means a lot like this, and maybe eventually a rally up. And then you have this, obviously, this level up here on gold, that once that breaks, that's the kicker. That's where you start to get momentum. The other thing to remind yourself of, in the last 12 months, central banks around the world have bought more gold than they have ever bought before. And I always say this, is that in a way, you're supposed to follow the smart money. I'm not saying they're smart money, but what they are is the creators of the printing presses and the money. So if the people that are going to print dollars and yen to infinity and all of this stuff are buying physical gold, probably not a bad thing to have a little in your portfolio, frankly. Again, just connecting the dots there. That's all I'm doing. Nothing crazy about that one.
Bitcoin is gearing up for something big. We've got a crypto analyst, Fury Trading, making waves predicting a Bitcoin surge to $40,000. They've mapped out this bullish journey, showcasing Bitcoin's steady recovery since October, and they're shouting from the rooftops that Bitcoin is classically getting ready for the next pump. But of course, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Fury Trading warns of potential turbulence. There might be a temporary rejection after hitting the $40,000 target. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. Buckle up. Switching gears, let's talk about Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin maestro. Brace yourselves because he's predicting a Bitcoin demand explosion, talking about 10x growth within a year after the halving next year. He's dropping knowledge bombs at the 2023 Australia Crypto Convention, describing the next 12 months as Bitcoin's coming out party. And it doesn't stop there. Saylor envisions Bitcoin infiltrating big tech and mega banks by 2028, with companies like Apple and Meta, Facebook, battling for BTC supremacy. It's like a crypto showdown. Hold on to your Bitcoin, folks, because Saylor's crystal ball extends to 25 years, predicting Bitcoin's dominance with mind-boggling figures. We're talking $1 million a coin, $2 million, $5 million, $10 million. So whether you're on the roller coaster of Bitcoin price predictions or enjoying the wisdom of Michael Saylor, the crypto circus is buzzing with excitement. Let's continue our enlightening discussion with Gareth Soloway.
So remember this chart. We talked about the gap needing to be filled right up here, right? That was a gap. And I kept on saying to you guys in the previous couple of videos, I was like, why hasn't this filled? This is kind of troublesome. It's got to fill. Well, guess what? Yesterday's open essentially filled that gap, and then we got this sell-off. It's amazing how that stuff works. And again, it's all about probabilities, and it's about technicals. That's really what it comes down to. Okay, couple other things to go over. I want to go over some charts that have earnings this morning. TTD, Trade Desk, You can see, look at this drop on earnings, got absolutely annihilated yesterday after the close, traded as low as around $53. It has floated back to almost $60. Still down a mile from a $76 close, but it is bouncing back off of the lows. Now, where would we day trade this? Well, the first thing I do if I'm thinking about a day trade, I'm saying, okay, well, if it was down at 53, I'm not going to choose a level above 53 because it could easily test that pre-market low. So that's number one. So number two, I flip back to the daily chart and I zoom out, and we got to zoom out on this, and we can see that the chart honestly was it kind of had rallied a lot recently. So, I mean, you can see this up move and then this chop. But what I'm doing now is I'm saying, okay, 53 is right in here. So now let's look at this area and try to find a technical level that gives us a level to trade. And what I do is I take my trend line and I start connecting the dots. So the first obvious trend line we have is double bottom right down here, triple bottom. That's at $40. I don't think it's getting down there today. I'd be very surprised. The second area here that's a little bit more interesting, there's a gap fill that looks like it never was fully filled. It came close, but there's a gap fill here at, look at this, if I zoom in here. So see this gap fill right here from this gap, and you gapped all the way up here, right? So that right there is my first inkling that could be a good support level. So what I would do is, for me at least, and this is what I'll be watching today in the live trading room, it's just below $50, around $49.80 or so. There's a gap fill. If this flushes down there, 53 was the low pre-market or after hours, so goes down there, goes lower, this is where I might start nibbling just a little bit, just below the even number of 50. And I love even numbers. Using even numbers with levels, when a level coincides with a major even number like $50, it's usually even more positive. All right, Unity Software. Getting trounced again on earnings here. Lots of earnings debacles, by the way. And by the way, this season, more than anything, this earnings season, which as it comes to a close, you've seen more and more stocks warning. And so what that tells me, by the way, is that the economy is slowing. Even if the jobs numbers aren't reflecting it yet, people are starting to pull back on their spending. All right, so we basically have a low down here on the chart of Unity. It got down as low as 21.17, 21.15. It's trading back to 22. Yesterday, it closed at approximately 25.40, so it is down significantly. Let's jump up here. Let's go to our daily chart. And what we'll do now is we have to zoom out to kind of see where we are on this chart here. And if we zoom, wow, look at this. I mean, this is pretty remarkable. So we're actually trading at, there's only one area of interest at 21.35. That's the lowest point on the chart. And look at this. This thing was a $200 stock. Now, remember, a lot of people would say, wow, it was $200. It's got to be a good buy down in this range, right? I mean, look at the chart. If you just simply look at price, where it was going into earnings, you'd probably be like, hey, guys, this looks great. I mean, how can you go wrong? Look at what a discount is. You can't do that, folks, because ultimately there's a reason why prices were way overdone up here and why it's trading back down here. And again, we're seeing it down significantly. So what we know is we're trading right now at $22.50. The technical level is around 21.35. That actually happens to be right around the low as well of pre-market or after hours. I'm going to put a trend line in right there, folks, right in that vicinity. And that again, so I would say $21, and I didn't do a very good job of putting this trend line in. It's got to be lower. There we go. 21.40, 21.30, right in that vicinity, to me looks interesting. Now, what I do here is very important. I don't say, oh, that's my level, and that's it. I have to look, because this is at the low of the chart, I need to go to a bigger time frame, because I have to see if historically, going back further, was there a lower pivot? What if it breaks that level? What if I take a 1/5 position at 21.30, 21.40, and it goes lower? Where is it going to stop? Where do I add my next position? So to do that, we have to go to the weekly chart. And what we see here on the weekly, guys, is that ultimately, right, I mean, look at this. Basically, this is going to be, if it gets down below that 21.30-ish area, it's at all-time lows.
The Bank of Russia has announced it will create a joint payment system with the United Arab Emirates, UAE, using the digital ruble. Bank of Russia's first deputy governor, Olga Skorobogatova, stated that the system would serve individuals and businesses alike and estimated its development would take a year. Crypto asset manager Grayscale Investments is constructively engaging with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, regarding its application to convert its flagship Bitcoin trust into a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund ETF, says CDO Michael Sonnenschein. The executive believes that Grayscale has a really nice advantage over other spot Bitcoin ETF applicants. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, has revealed that it filed a record number of crypto enforcement actions this fiscal year. In FY 2023, the CFTC brought 47 actions involving conduct related to digital asset commodities, representing more than 49% of all actions filed during that period, the regulators shared. The Nigerian central bank has dismissed rumors suggesting that the previously demonetized Naira banknotes are no longer legal tender. According to the bank, all banknotes as ever issued remain legal tender and should not be rejected by anyone. That wraps up today's crypto news highlights. Stay tuned for more updates, insights, and analysis from the world of cryptocurrencies. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content.